Welcome back to Lone Oak Farm 17 for episode 48 with me, MrSealyp. Having just filled up the second tanker at Sengstocks Organics with slurry, we've got 120,000 litres on hand. I'm going to whiz that round to the BGA. Every now and again I'll do a couple of loads just to keep that BGA topped up with digestate. What was that, 1,200 or something? I'd say 1,251 or something. We'll probably double that selling it, so we'll make our money back on the slurry, and then it produces the digestate. We've got a couple of jobs to do. We'll just check the fields as well from the last episode. Soil composition is now looking fantastic in that all of our fields are now on mid-blue. 35, 34, 32, 43, 45, 49, 53, 50, 27, Chad the artists, all the side ones, and the top, field 5 and field 25. A couple of bits of our fields are in dark blue for various different odd peculiar reasons, as is field 1 at the top. There's not a huge amount I can do now in early summer. That's all done. I'm waiting on growth. When the next growth stage comes through, I can get some weeding done and some spraying, which will give me dark blue on all of our fields, which is what I'm hoping for. In the meantime, like I say, I'm going to do this slurry run, and I'm going to do a bit of maintenance on some of the vehicles where we've got a bit of downtime. So I'm just going to whiz them into the workshop at the farm and just check on the maintenance side of it. I don't want to leave anything too long. The forage harvester's in there after that mammoth 1,000 litre poplar harvest. I wanted to make sure that I got a bit of an overhaul, so we'll do that. This is going to be a bit of a time travel, a bit of a Doctor Who episode, in that once that's done, we'll probably jump ahead to midsummer and we'll have a look and see where we stand with regard to the fields and stuff then. If there's any work to be done, we'll get that done in midsummer. If we then run out of work in midsummer, we'll jump along to late summer and we'll just see how we get on. Realistically, my fields are all sown, they're all good to go. It's just fertilising. Once I've got the third fertiliser state, there's nothing more I can do on any of them. Like I said before, I'm not taking on any new contracts because I just won't be able to get them done. There just won't be, especially if it's field work and things like that. But what we'll do is nope, I'm going to take it there for. Sort of go into the digester first, and then it makes digestate. So yeah, talking of work on vehicles, watched yesterday's Giants live stream, pre-release live stream. Some more interesting bits of information. Some of it was duplicated from Monday's, I think, because people either missed the stream or were unsure and they've been asking questions, so the guys were kind of reiterating some of the points they made. But as far as the actual game screen goes, bottom right hand corner on FS19, not on this one, you've got like a speedometer, and it will obviously tell you the speed you're doing, and then just above the speedometer on the left hand side you've got like a is it a wrench? A spanner we would call it in the UK, and on the other side you've got the fuel gauge, so you can see how much fuel you're using, and the wrench spanner shows you how deteriorated your vehicle is. And you will notice over time it will start to look a bit more scratched up, it will look a bit more worn and battered, and it requires regular maintenance. Now the thing about that is at the moment that's only available for console gamers on seasons, but as far as I'm aware they haven't really specified on a lot of the stream whether it's all platforms. I'm assuming everything they are showing us is cross-platform, that it's not going to be some of it's for PC, some of it's for console. I'm not 100% certain, but yeah, so you have to regularly maintain your vehicles. If you don't regularly maintain your vehicles, you get a drop in horsepower, you get issues, they don't run as efficiently. And here's the thing, here's the absolute kicker, it's not just vehicles. You have to regularly maintain your tools and equipment. Your trailers, your seeders, your ploughs, everything you're using, your headers for your harvesters. Because if you don't, they start to become less effective, not as efficient. Apparently the headers, either you won't get as much yield, they don't take as much cropping. I think something along those lines. That bit wasn't 100% clear, but so there's a whole new system with regard to repair and damage and that kind of stuff, which again is going to add a whole another realm of realism. Crop destruction is in the game, however you can turn it on or off. They have said that the menu there's so much more in the menu and a lot more adaptability and customization for you to be able to turn things on, off and adjust various different things that are going to be available. But I just thought that was really cool for repair and that kind of thing. It's going to be brilliant. What I'm going to do now is think. I'm going to grab the animal trailer. I'm going to whiz over to the hogs because I've got 6 hogs over and above which need to go to Barris and Taco Farmer, and then we'll get these vehicles serviced and then we'll move on to the next step. So I'll go and do that now. Right up at the main yard, I've loaded up the 6 hogs there in the trailer. They will need to go off to the diner as part of my contract with Barris and Taco Farmer. I've got all the tractors brought in from various different locations. We're just going to give them a bit of a check just to make sure. I don't know what we're going to be looking at. Repair 1,400. Okay, that's that repaired. Take them all in one at a time and make sure everything's okay. Wool prices are still low, they're still in the red, only 7,000 and something, so I'm not going to take those pallets of wool to sell yet. There's just no point. When we get to harvest, I'm in talks with the boss and also with the local case dealer. I think we're going to lease a second harvester, probably another 9230, I guess. Yeah, we'll run a couple of harvesters for the harvesting because we've got a lot to get done, and we need to make sure we get all our contracts complete. That's why this one's a bit of a, like I say, a bit of a Doctor Who episode, simply because we really do have a lot to get done and we are running out of days. We are down to 6 days, I believe. Yeah, it's Wednesday, isn't it? So yeah, 6 days. Yeah, $41. We can afford that. I think we can afford that. We should be alright. I think financially now, I think we're going to be good. I don't think we've got any issues really. We've got so much wood chip on hand. If we get a great demand or a good price on wood chip, we'll rake it up with that. That'll be absolutely fantastic. And then plus we've got all the crops we've got to harvest will be sold and the money from those contracts. So I think as a farm we've done alright. The boss is incredibly happy. Still on holiday though, which is a bit, you know, don't know. What can I say? I just work here. I thought these would be far worse, but then I suppose to be fair, I haven't had the T9 very long. I just thought with the amount of work they've been doing, but it's based upon, I suppose it is hours, but in-game days, etc. And when these are done, that's me for today for early summer, and then we'll see. That's a bit more expensive, fair enough. So I say this is going to be a whole other aspect to FS19 that you really need to keep up with, you know, if you want everything running tip top. They've also said, that was the other thing, if you haven't been watching the streams, at the end of every day in FS17 you get clobbered for vehicle costs. That has been removed. There are no longer vehicle costs overnight. Because you're having to repair your vehicles and their upkeep and regular maintenance, there's no need to have a vehicle costs fee overnight because you're going to be repairing them anyway. I always thought, especially with seasons running, that was always a bit of an odd one. In the normal game, without seasons running, that was what they were supposed to replicate, was regular upkeep and maintenance on vehicles and that kind of thing. When you're running seasons, you're doing regular upkeep and maintenance, but also then paying costs overnight. That will no longer exist. They also said there'll be there's no gold nuggets on Ravenport and Felsbrunn. Whether there'll be no gold nuggets, I suppose it depends on map makers if they decide to put nuggets in. But on the actual Giants maps, no gold nuggets. Right, that's it. That's us. I suppose then there's going to be the regular feeding of the animals. I need to make sure I keep up with the cleanliness and feeding of the animals. But other than that, I will probably see you now midsummer. We'll have a look, see where we stand, if there's any jobs to do. If not, then it'll be late summer and we'll keep going. I will see you, for you, momentarily, for me, a little while. The only job I've got to do is weeding again here on the grass field over by the sheep, 22 and 23 next to 24. And that will put me, will that put me in the final state? Let's go to soil composition. Yep, that's dark blue. So that'll be field 22, 23, 24, all grass, all on 3 fertilising states, which will give me a higher yield on the grass should I need it. Zooming back out and going over to growth, nothing is ready to harvest yet. A few things have gone, no, they haven't even gone into the next growth stage. Actually, I will check at the farm, so if they have, we might be able to get some more stuff in the ground. I'm going to leave this, put some narrows on because I didn't want to damage any of the ground. If I had to take control of it, I would end up flattening grass and killing it. That was another nice feature on the stream yesterday, was as you even walk through the crops and the grass, it bends away from you. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So over to the, let's have a look at field, I think 35 is next to the farm. So very quickly, oh yeah, hang on, if we've got growth, that means we can get some spraying done or some weeding. Regardless, we have. So we have got another growth state, which means we can get all of these fields now, oh fantastic, all of these fields onto final fertilising state. I'm not going to do the whole episode because obviously at the end of the day it's spraying and weeding. I'm weeding over on the grass field at the moment. I'm going to grab the SP400F. I'll make a start on field 35 and realistically it's all going to be the same. Let's get that open. Now I have made a bit of money and obviously I've got the hogs. Oh, I didn't sell the hogs, did I? They're still in the trailer. Whoops. Hope they're alright. And obviously then I need to check on the animals, all their feed troughs and feed and that kind of stuff. Actually, we'll have a quick look at the menu now. Let's just set that off, shall we? Check the menu for our animals. Yeah. Sheep are fine because they've got an automated system. But the pigs and cows feed troughs are a mess, and I think we're going to need to sort the cows out a bit more feed. We have got a new cow, 31. We've got one cow of our own now, so when the 30 go back, our 125 pigs are there, 6 are in the trailer, and we've got 197 sheep, so we're doing alright. 30 of those belong to someone else, so we've got 167 sheep, which is absolutely brilliant. Right, what I'm going to do is swing this round. And yeah, I'm going to go around like I did before. Let's get all the fields sorted, get them sprayed, get them weeded, and hopefully we'll have them all. Sorry, I keep bouncing in and out of the menu. Soil composition, field 35 is now moving on to dark blue. Fields 22, yeah, that's carrying on. So we should be able to now get round our fields and get them all onto 3 fertilising states. Awesome. And then I'll probably see you again, and it'll be late summer we might have something to harvest. Some of the fields that were planted early, I don't know, we might be looking at early autumn, but looking across here, we've got a lot of greenery, we've got a lot of shoots, a lot of new growth, a lot of potential. It all worked really, really well. I'll see you in a little while. We are now in late summer, and as you can see, the crops are doing incredibly well. Soybeans growing lovely. That's not one of our fields, this is the field next to us. We are on field, well, by field 59 and 51. If I go back onto that and we go across to soil composition, as you can see, all of our fields are all now dark blue. We finished that off yesterday. Unfortunately there was nothing more to do. There is still nothing more to do. If we go back to this one here, to our growth, all of the yellow fields are already to harvest belong to other people. They're all the ones that were planted before in autumn. None of it is ours, although all of our stuff is on dark green, which is fantastic. Although I've made a huge error. I would love to blame it on the fact the ATF have been sniffing around and asking awkward questions. However, that's not the case. In the effort to get everything sprayed, fertilised, and it was all hands on deck. I had a weeder going, I had the sprayer going, I had the fertiliser spreader going, and we were on all the fields to try and get all the fertiliser states done before the next day. I forgot to seed plant field 52, Owl's field. I went to all the trouble of organic. Everything came from the pigs. We slurried it with pig slurry. We put oilseed radish in as a cover crop, and then we muck spread it with muck from the pigs. Then when the cover crop grew, we cultivated it in, and I said, with everything else going on, I must come back and seed this with corn. And I forgot. If we go and have a look now, we're outside the window. We've gone past corn. Can't do anything about it. Now I've got a massive cornfield, field 50, but Al was incredibly specific. It had to be organic, completely organic, and it had to be from the hogs. I'm really sorry. It's not often I drop the ball on these and the contracts. Sometimes I come up a little bit short and I roll them over into the next season, but it's not often I forget, and it just completely went out my head. I'm really sorry, Al. I'll hang my head with shame and walk back. Anyway, nothing's ready to harvest. I've got nothing to spray, nothing to fertilise. So chances are now I'll see you in early autumn, and hopefully we'll have some better news. I'm assuming field 34 and 43, because we bought those already seeded, planted. They're going to be the first to be ready, but we'll see. Anyway, sorry about that. I will see you tomorrow. There's been no job sheets to look at because realistically there's been no jobs to do. We've been twiddling our thumbs and feeding the animals, keeping them clean. Really, that's it. The wool production has slowed right down now. I think we've got another couple of pallets out of them, but the wool price is through the floor. It's only about 5,000. Very, very low. So, yeah, actually, that's... No, they're not ours, are they? One of those is. Yeah. That one there is field 45. No, hang on, 45. Why do I keep saying 43? Oh, yeah, 40... I'm looking in the wrong direction, aren't I? 43, yeah, that's got to be our one there. Okay, so I reckon, yeah, that's on the... It's kind of ready, but it will need another day to be ready to actually harvest. Anyway, right, so, yeah, see you tomorrow. 6 o'clock in the morning. I think I'll, don't know, go read a book. Yeah, this is a big old sea of soybean, isn't it? The soybean sea. I am back down at Winterhawks Auctions Livestock Exchange, and we are going to pick up the trailer again because it's that time for the cows to be on their merry way. We were only looking after 30, we were cow sitting. Oddly enough, everything's changed. Welcome to the Crops That Wouldn't Grow show. Everyone else's seem to be growing. Ours aren't. Well, we're now on... where are we? Let's have a look. So, growth. They're all still dark green. All the fields that belong to other farmers that were all yellow and ready to harvest have been harvested by those farmers. And we're still kind of stuck in limbo. I mean, there's a few for other farmers that need to be done, but nothing's ready yet. I was convinced 43 and 34 would be done before the others, but at this rate, we're going to be mid to late autumn. I don't know why I just got that. Before we get even close. But the cows do need to go. We were only supposed to be looking after them for a while. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. I've come back into this for another session of recording because I record in sort of shorter bursts, and they haven't reset themselves yet. But here's what's happened. The production of wool from the sheep has slowed right down. They stopped reproducing a while back, but they kept producing wool. That's kind of ground to a halt pretty much now. The cows only had a very, very short reproduction window. We got 3, and then that stopped again. And the milk they were producing went up, but then came down again. It's not producing as much. That said, 30 of them are going. But we have got 3 of our own now. The pigs are back at it. They're reproducing again. We were on 125 because we sold the ones to Barris. Oh, he paid us as well. We got our money for those. And now we're back up to 128. So we've had 3 more hogs. They're not hanging about. So they have quite a long reproduction window. And they're off and going. So what we're going to do then is head up. We'll load up as many as we can in here and bring them back down to the auction house. They will be shipped from here on to their final destination. The farmer that was originally going to be having them, they came from Cody's farm, but the farmer wasn't ready to have them yet. The stable and the pen, the fences weren't ready. I can't remember what it was exactly. Something along those lines. They weren't ready to have them, so we were just kind of a holding farm until they were ready. So yeah, it's going to be weird. Mind you, it means we won't be as much hassle for only looking after 3 cows. That's going to be far easier than 30. But yeah, the terrain has changed. We've jumped through time. However, it'd be nice if I could have jumped back and I could have corrected that error on field 52, but what are you going to do? Can't do a lot about that. We've still got all these wood chips. We haven't had a great demand or anything. The price of wood chips has stayed pretty static, and the price of wool is on the rise, but it's creeping up incredibly slowly. So hopefully, you know, it may well all come together. If we're incredibly lucky, we may start our harvest, we might have fields ready, and when that happens we might find we get a great demand on wool, and then we get a great demand on wood chips, and we could end all of this quids in. Who knows? We may well. I think what's going to happen is in a few days time I'm going to be packing my things and I'm going to be heading south. We are on the west coast, or near the west coast. We're inland a little bit from the west coast, to be fair, which is over that direction, and we're going to be heading that direction down towards San Diego, I think, to a lovely little place called Ravenport. That's the plan. We'll see how we get on with that. I was going to say I've just driven past. No, I haven't. I've driven past the hogs. The cows are this way. Suddenly panicked and thought, I'm so busy talking. Yeah, this is a weird episode only because I have, like I said, I've jumped kind of a couple of, well, Why is there a bucket sitting there? That's peculiar. How odd. Okay. Can't do a lot about that. So, we'll open the gate. can't remember how many this holds now. Don't think it takes all 30, does it? We might have to do a couple of runs. Whoa. I need every bit of soybean I can get my hands on, so I cannot afford for that to get driven over. Even slightly. Just go and have it. So, load. We can take 20. Cool. That's 20. Confirm. We have 20 in the back. Now, talking about cows and talking about, as I've been going through the various different episodes, watching the live stream yesterday, they went to look at the livestock market and they went onto the menu for buying animals. Wow, is that different. You can be incredibly specific with your flock, your herd, do pigs come in herds? I can't remember now. You can actually pick specific colours. With the horses, that was a kind of, not a given, but there's Palominos and Mustangs and there's all various different sorts of horses you can choose to buy. But when you go onto the cows, you can have black and white, you can have brown, you can have black, I think. With the pigs, you can have pink, you can have, is it pink and black? You can have black, yeah, so you can actually pick specific colours. So if you wanted to go for an all brown herd, or you wanted to go like Frisians, so you wanted to go like all black and white, like the Holstein Frisian Society, and have all of your herd black and white, you can. You could be that specific. It's amazing. Yeah. Or you can, with the cows as well, you can also choose between the standard cow varieties and the American, or the South American, what were they called? It was on the, I can't remember, it was on the stream now. The ones with the hump on the back, anyway. Not camels. I'm sure it wasn't camels. So, yeah, it just, that level of detail now is going to be, and I think as well, it's going to make it great with the whole concept that everyone's farm's going to be different. So different, with placeables and all the other things you can do now. Buying parcels of land, and especially on multiplayer as well. You know, it may well be that even if you put your dairy in the same place as somebody else when they're doing their map, you might have all black and white cows, they might have all brown, you might have a mixture. You know, that level of customization just blows the mind. It really does. So yeah, looking forward to it. I'm going to get these up and away, and then we'll get the last 10. So a couple of nights that went by, we did alright overnight. We made a little bit of money. One of the nights we didn't make anywhere near as much as the night before, which was a bit weird. I don't know quite why that happened. Oh, I know what it could have been. The orchard. I need to check the orchard. Not now, obviously. But anyway. So, right, they're going to go to the auctioneers. Then we'll go back up. We'll get the other 10, bring them down, and they'll be winging their way off to their new home. So, yeah, I'll see you in a moment when we bring the next 10 down. Right, well, that's 20 gone. Next 10. Some point, probably late autumn. I'm trying to think. Yeah, maybe. We're going to be saying goodbye to 30 of the sheep. Because 30 of those were for Big Daddy's Tailoring USA. We were looking after them. So they'll be off. Fantastic. So then what's going to happen is, seeing as it's Jockey's hogs, and we're a hog farm, we have more sheep than hogs at the moment. what's going to happen is we're going to wait till the end of harvest because we need to lease. Let's load up 10 mil. 10 confirm, and it leaves our three in there. Very lonely cows. Yeah, what's going to happen is. What's happening there? Huh? Odd. Yeah, so we're going to lease the harvester and do what we're going to do. Then obviously we'll be selling on to whatever storage facility we need to be getting rid of all these crops for the various different people that we've got contracts left for. When we finish all of our contracts at the end of the season and we know how much we've got financially, we're sinking our money into the hogs, because that was the whole point. Barris letting us use field 50, letting us use 51 because they belong to him, which means that, and the whole point was it was to go towards hogs. So we'll be buying more hogs. Chad the artist over on field 27 from way back in whatever episode it was, we've got to make sure when we do that field 27, that 10% of the crop goes to him, or 10% of the proceeds from that crop. That's going to be hard to work out, that one, isn't it? I might have to do that one independently and see how much we get off of it and then work it out from there. But anyway, yeah, so a few bits and bobs to do. We've mostly got soybean contracts left. We've got a corn contract. We've got a barley one, big pot of seeds, barley and corn, I think. I've got one for about 15,000 litres of corn, but we'll get onto that once all the crops are ready, which is probably now going to be, fingers crossed, mid-autumn, maybe late autumn, I don't know. But that's it for this episode. We're going to take these last 10, say goodbye to the cows, keep the 3 that we're allowed to. Cody did say any new births you have while you have them in your care, you are more than happy to keep. So that's it from me on this episode. I was hoping by now we'd be on to harvesting, but obviously that's not to be. So the next episode on here, hopefully harvesting. I need to get these contracts done before FS19 comes out, and I'm running out of days. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this episode, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Actually, you know what? Before I say thanks for watching, please bear with me. YouTube, I'm having horrendous problems with YouTube at the moment with rendering my videos. I render them on my PlayStation, I post them to YouTube, and then they process on YouTube once they've uploaded. They process in 360p initially. Normally after about 5 minutes or so, the higher resolution kind of versions have also rendered. For some reason, they're taking a lot longer to render, sometimes an hour or so. My last video I posted, as far as I'm aware, like nearly 24 hours later, is still sitting on 360p. Now I've got a 4K TV, I've got a PlayStation 4, PS4 Pro, I record in 4K Ultra HD, you know, I've got it all set high. So to be fair, when it does render to 1080, that's kind of coming down a little bit from what I record in, but yeah, one of them still sitting at 360. Please, bear with me. I can't do a thing about it. All I'm doing is posting what I've got. This is really playing up, this trailer. I don't know why. Right, I'll turn it off a second. Yeah, please bear with me. Also, check your phone. I know when I go on and look at videos on my phone, mine automatically jumps to 360. If you go onto your settings and scroll down, often the other options are available there for you. But if it's still saying 360, that's not my fault. I'm not recording in 360. Why would I record in 360? So please, just, you know, use a bit of common sense. It's just, oh, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching.